Alright class, welcome back to the second lecture. So last time we talked about significant figures and significant figures in calculation, and then we did a bunch of practice problems, and I give you a take-home problem to do. Now I want to finish that up. Now before we go over the practice problems that I gave you to do at home, I want to go over rounding one more time. So we said you're going to do the calculation and you're going to get a number. And then you have to see how many sig fig you are supposed to have. And you are going to round based on how many sig fig you need. Okay? Now I want to do a couple practice problems just to make sure we're on the same page. So I put this on the board, and these numbers, I want to round all of them to 2 sig fig. Okay, so if I have 72.9, I need to round it to 2 sig fig. Since this is 9, this becomes 73. I have 72.4, since this is 4, if I round it down, this becomes 72. Again, I want to round all of them to 2 sig fig. Now 72.5, so we said it's kind of easy. If you have 1 through 4, you round down. 6 through 9, you round up. Now what happens if you have 5? When you have 5, it's a little bit more complicated. You have to look at the number before. So I have 5, I'm going to round to 2 sig fig. This number is even. We said if the number is even, you round down. So this would be 72. Then let's come over here. I have 5 here, but this number is odd. So if it's odd, I have to round up, and that would be 74. So far, so good. Okay, so this is how you will round it. There was some confusion. We're just going to make sure we're on the same page. For 5, if you have a 5, you look at the number before. If it's even, you round down. If that number is odd, you round up. Okay, beautiful. Now, let's take out the take-home problem that I gave you. Take out the take-home problem that I gave you. We're going to go over those take-home problems. Alright, so the take-home problems that I gave you, I'm going to put it on the board here. So hopefully this helped clarify about 5. What do you do when you have 5? Alright, so our first take-home problem was 3.2215 times 1.67 plus 2.3. I'm going to ask you to do the calculation and then tell me the final answer with the correct number of significant figures. You ready to do this? Okay. Now the first thing you do parentheses. That's the first part that you do is parentheses. Now I have addition, and I said every time you have addition, you are going to line them up on top of each other. So far so good? Okay. Now, if I do the addition, I get 3.97. And then you go, where do I draw a line? You draw a line where things are not significant anymore. Where would that line be? That line would be nothing is significant after 3, right? Over here, nothing is significant. So I'm going to draw a line where things are not significant anymore. So I have this line. The numbers behind this line are going to determine my significant figure. The numbers behind this line are going to determine my significant figure. So based on this, how many sig fig I have? I have 2 sig fig. So based on this, I have 2 sig fig. Now, we said we are not going to round, because if you round right now, then you always end up rounding more up than you are rounding down, and it's not good, because if you keep rounding, our final answer is going to be off. So we don't round until the very end. So now what am I going to do? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply 3.2215 by 3.97. Again, we do not round until the end. We do not round until the end. Now, if I do that, what my calculator is going to give me is 12.789355. Now we are going to round. Okay, now this is multiplication. I have to go with the lowest number of significant figure. How many sig fig is this one? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fig is this one. Now this one, even though I didn't round it, I have to keep in mind that this one only supposed to have 2 sig fig, right? This one is only supposed to have 2 sig fig. I didn't round it, I keep all the numbers, I'm going to round at the end. So 5, 2, so my final answer should have how many sig fig? Should have 2 sig fig. So I need to round this to reflect that, only 2 sig fig. This is 12.7, so I have to round it up to 13. Alright, so far so good. Okay, now the next problem that I gave you, that was the first take-home problem. The second take-home problem was 1.008 times 12010. Okay, this is a multiplication. Multiplication, we go with the lowest number of significant figure because we are as good as our weakest link, right? Okay, how many sig fig is this one over here? 1.008. Zeros sandwiched between the numbers, they're significant, right? So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I think the number that I gave you had a 0 over here too. I just looked at, so the number that I had given you for your take home had a 0 in here too. Yeah? Okay, good. So now let's look at that. So how many sig fig is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5 sig fig. Now how many sig fig is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. This 0 doesn't count. So this is only 4 sig fig. Right? This 0 doesn't count. Again, a 0 counts after a number if I have a decimal. A 0 does not count after a number if I have no decimal. So I have 5 sig fig, I have 4 sig fig. You following me? Okay, so this is multiplication. I'm going to multiply it together. If I multiply it together, what I get is 12106.08. Okay, now 4, 5. My final answer should have how many sig fig? 4 sig fig. My final answer should have 4 sig fig. So now, if that's the case, I have to completely forget about decimal places, right? I should completely forget about the decimal places. Now, how am I gonna round this to reflect 4 sig fig? This is 6, so I have to round up. So it would be 12110. That's gonna be my number. Okay. So again, forget the decimal place because I only need 4 sig fig. It's not even gonna have the decimal place for sure. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 5, so I have to round it to go to 4 sig fig. Now, some of you guys might have done this. Some of you guys might have rounded to 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. Did you do this one? Now, if you did that, here's what I need you to remember. You cannot change the value of the number. So this number here is 12,000, right? This number here is in 12,000s. Now, when I round it, I'm still 12,000. But if I don't put a 0 here, now I'm 1,200. So be careful about that. After you round, go back and go, did I accidentally change the number? Because you cannot change the number. So you still have to be in the 12,000s. All right, so far so good. Ready for last one? And last one was the hardest one. That's what I gave it last. So our last take-home problem was this. Ready for the last one? The last one, I give you an addition. It was 1780 plus 3500 plus 21.77. Okay, what I told you guys was that every time you have addition or subtraction, the way to do it, you have to line them up on top of each other, okay? So let's do that. Let's line these up. I'm going to go 1780, 3500, 21.77. And then I'm actually going to add up all these numbers together. It'll be 1. Oh boy, I'm sometimes not good at math. Okay, I'm ever good at math. Okay, so far so good. Now what am I going to do? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a line where things are not significant anymore. Where is that line? This one is a tricky problem. So significant, significant, significant. Is this 0 significant? That 0 is not significant because the 0 after a number, if there's no decimal places, is not significant. This has only 2 sig fig, right? So we draw a line where things are not significant anymore, and this 0 is not significant. So where do I draw my line? My line is going to be after 5, because significant, 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 bam, that one is not significant. So that's where I draw the line. So we said the numbers behind this line is going to determine my significant figure. Now how many is that? That's 2. So I am limited to 2 significant figures. I have to round to reflect that. Okay? Now how am I going to round it? So forget the decimal places. To round it is going to be 5,300 because I only need 2 sig fig. Now these are hard problems. I usually give you hard problems for take home. But check this out. You can't just say 53 because you cannot change the value of the number. This number is in 5,300, right? I cannot change the value of the number. Same as here. So you can't just say 53 because you're changing the value. So this has 533,1.77. I only need 2 sig fig. Forget the decimal place. I need to round this to 5,300. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. So these take-home problems were hard. If you know them, you're in a really good shape. Now, the last thing to talk about for significant figures, and then we can move on to the units, this is the last thing to talk about. So the last thing to talk about significant figures is exact number. Oh my goodness. Exact. So it's not easy to write on the board. Exact number. And you have exact number when you do counting or when we have conversion factor. Now we'll tell you what exact number is. Okay. Now, exact number, they do not count when we are considering significant figure. So exact number, we don't count them when we're considering significant figure. Okay? Now, counting and conversion factor are exact number. Basically, they don't have significant figures. I have 27 students. How many sig fig is that? Doesn't have sig fig because I'm counting. I can't have 27.2 students, can I? No, I have to count everyone as one. So when I do that, I know that does not have a significant figure. So to have 27 students doesn't have a significant figure. Also, conversion factor. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeter. That does not have a significant figure. That's just a conversion factor. It's nothing that you measured. It's a significant, it's a conversion factor that is given to you. So they do not count when we're considering what our sig fig is. Again, we're gonna do, from now on, every problem we do is gonna have significant figures. So we'll get more practice problem with this as we move on. Okay, so we're done with sig fig. Now, what we started last time, we said that as a scientist, we measure things all the time. When you measure, you get a number, but a number means nothing without a unit. And you also have to care about the significant figure. So as a scientist, you're going to measure things. You measure things, you get a number. A number means nothing without a unit. And then you should also care about number of significant figures. The number that I have, because a significant figure is going to show someone how accurately, how precisely you measure that number. Okay, so we talked about significant figures. You know how to do significant figures and how to report the number with the correct number of significant figures. Now what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about unit. we're going to talk about unit, because the number means nothing without a unit. Now, what I emailed you guys a conversion fact table. I emailed you guys a conversion table, okay? Now, I don't want you to have this memorized. I will give this to you on the exam if it's needed. So this is a conversion between the metric system and the US system. To me, if there's something that you can Google, I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not going to give it to you. You don't have to memorize it. Okay, so this table again is conversion between the metric system and the US system, and I will give it to you if there's a problem that you need to convert. But what we're going to teach you right now, we're going to teach you how to do basic unit conversion. Okay, now we're going to teach you how to do a basic unit conversion, because you're going to do measurement, you're going to get a number, you're going to figure out the significant figure for that number, and then the unit. What if you need to convert it to different unit between metric system and between the US system? Okay, let's do this. So we're going to do basic unit conversion. And the way I'm going to do it, I'm just going to start doing practice problem and then show you that way. Alright, so basic unit conversion. The first one we're going to do, we are going to convert 48.3 inches to feet. IN is abbreviation for inches, FT abbreviation for feet. Okay, so 48.3 inches to feet. I'm actually converting between the US system. Now here's what I want you to learn from this class. If you learn nothing from me, learn how to cancel out. So if you learn nothing from me, learn how to cancel out, and you're going to be set in life. Not in life, probably. So 48.3 inches. I'm going to write it down. This is what's given to me. Do I want inches? I do not want inches. If I don't want inches, inches is going to go down here. What do I want? I want feet. That's going to go on top. Because to cancel things out, they have to be on the opposite side. So inches is on top. I'll put inches on the bottom so that inches can cancel out and I can end up with feet. Then what you're going to do, you are going to look at this conversion sheet that I gave you. I will give this to you on exam. And it says that what does it say? It says 1 foot is 12 inches. Okay? Then I'm going to put that in. Now, math, algebra, don't get it wrong. You're going to multiply everything on top divided by the bottom. So 48.3 times 1 divided by 12. Now, do this for me. What do you get? What you end up getting is 4.025. Every time you have a number, oh, don't forget the units, right? I was just trying to teach you guys. Now we have to also care about significant figures, don't we? Yes, we do. Let's do the sig fig together. How many sig fig is this? This has 3 sig fig. Good job. Beautiful. Okay. How many sig fig is this? Exact number. We do not consider them when we want to figure out significant figure. And counting and conversion factor are exact number. This is a conversion factor. So it has this exact number. We don't care when we're considering significant figures. So how many sig fig I have? I want to have 3 sig fig. My final answer is going to have 3 sig fig. Now I have 4.025. Okay, this is a great practice problem because we have 5 here. If I have 5, what do I need to do? I need to look at the number before 5. The number before 5 is even. If the number before 5 is even, what do? You round down. So the answer is 4.02. but this is 5, and that one I have to round down because it's even. See, we're going to do a lot of practice problem with significant figure as we go on. So far, so good? All right. Are you ready for our next problem? Let's do it. Here is our next practice problem. 62.7 inches, and I want you to convert it to centimeter. Okay? Now, again, you're going to write down what's given to you. What is given to me is 62.7 inches. Do I want inches? I do not. So I'm going to put inches down here. What I'm going to put on top in centimeters. So every time you have a problem, write down what's given to you. You go, inches is not what I want. So I need to cancel it out. To cancel something out, they have to be top, bottom, opposite side. So now I can cancel out the inches, and then I'm going to have centimeter on top. Then you're going to go to the conversion factor sheet and then figure out what is the conversion between those two. And if you look at it, it says what? 1 inch is 2.54 centimeter. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeter. So far, so good? Okay. Now, before, pause me right now and figure out the final answer with the correct number of significant figure, and then unpause me. Okay. How many sig fig is this? 62.7 is, this is 3 sig fig. How many sig fig is this? Hopefully you're shouting right now, that's the exact number. It's not going to count for significant figure. Good job. So my final answer should have 3 sig fig, and my final answer is 171 centimeter. Don't forget to put the unit next to it. Don't forget to put the unit next to it. Nice job. All right, last problem. Let's do our last problem. You ready? Okay. Let's do that. And this last problem is a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder, but I think you guys got this down. So here is our last problem. I have 120 grams, and I want to convert it to ounces. OZ means ounces. So get used to this abbreviation. Okay, 120 grams, and I want to go to ounces. So, what I told you was that, write down what's given to you, which is 120 grams. And probably you go, okay, I want to cancel out gram, so the grams goes here. What I want on top, I want ounces. So the grams can cancel out, and I can end up with ounces. Now, here is a problem over here. You do have a problem. When you look at the conversion sheet that I have sent you, the problem is this conversion sheet doesn't have a direct conversion between gram and ounces. But that's okay. There is indirect conversion that we can do. So this one does not. So we cannot do this because there is no direct conversion between grams and ounces. So we have to be a little bit more creative, but we can do that. But if you look at the conversion sheet, there is a conversion between grams to pounds and then pounds to ounces. And we can do that. So I can go gram to pound. This is pound. And there is a conversion for that. When I look at it, 1 pound is 454. Again, I will give you that conversion sheet on the exam. Gram. So then the grams can cancel out. Now what do I have? Now I have pound. I don't want pound. The pound is going to come right here. What I want is ounces. It goes on top. Again, remember, this can cancel out. I don't want pounds. They can cancel out. What I want on top is ounces. And what is the conversion between pounds and ounces? You already probably know that. 16 ounces is 1 pound. So there was no direct conversion between gram and ounces, but we can go gram to pounds and then pounds to ounces. Okay, math. Ready to do this together? You go 120 times 1 times 16 divided by 454 divided by 1. So you multiply everything on top, divide by the bottom. Now, before you tell me what the final answer is, you have to also be careful about significant figure. Okay, how many sig fig is 120? This is 2 sig fig, right? How many sig fig is here? It's conversion, exact number. We're not going to count it. This one is same here. So my final answer should have 2 sig fig, and what I got was 4.2 ounces as my final answer. So far so good? Okay, so this is a basic conversion. This is a basic conversion. Again, I will give you the conversion table so you can easily do this. Really nice job. So next time, I'm not going to give you a take-home problem because I'm not quite done with this part yet. Now, next time what we're going to do, we are going to go over between the metric to metric conversion. And I'm going to go over that. Okay, I will see you guys next time.